Welcome everyone to the 165th episode of Politically High Tech with your host Elias. This is more of a backlog episode. I've been having so many guests and so many other priorities. I've been having just so much other things, but I'm back. That's what's important. And I'm going to just tell you right now that I'm going to talk about only three items here. And this is a backlog episode because I want to go through my analysis, my opinion of the third debate. You already know that Tim Scott is TKO'd. So, yeah, it took me a while just to get to this. Gonna probably go more quick about it. That will be one of the items. The second item is about what happened to George Santos. He is the sixth Congress member ever to be expelled in U.S. politics with our over 240 years of history. Okay, the six. The previous five, we're going to get to what happened to the previous five. And there were a long time ago. I mean, a really, really long time ago. We're talking about over 150 years back at least for some, okay? And we also have the ballot measure results. Generally speaking, more than several states had them. I'm only going to talk about the results that happened after November 1st. So it's November 7th and the 18th. And it only includes a handful of states. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. Just know, generally speaking, they have passed. Okay, whatever state had their ballot, most of them has went through. Okay, there's some that didn't go through. That's why Ohio did pass some things, but abortion did pass though. Abortion did pass, and that was a key thing that multiple media outlets were talking about. Oh, despite Ohio becoming an increasingly red state, but abortion has passed. Man, that is a win in policy, especially for a more left-leaning folk. Yeah, they could tout that as a victory. I would agree with it. If I was a Democrat, I would have tout that as a victory as well. All right, so let's get right into it. I got so much I need to go through. The second item is going to be the shortest of them all. First item, I'm going to just pull up my notes here because I do got notes. And I did took them. All right, let's make this a little more organized. There you go. The third debate was hosted by NBC. I would say they did a okay job. They did somewhat of a decent job. They couldn't control the crowd well, but it didn't beat the relevance to overshadow Trump. So again, debates kind of take an L. They take an L, and that's not a good thing because Donald Trump continues to lock in the supermajority to this day. Even though Nikki Haley, I gotta say, 3 times the charm. She's been a winner. She's been, to me, the winner of the first three debates. I mean, I want to make that clear, including this one. I think she's definitely a winner. Her and DeSantis. Ramaswamy, he gets the L. Christie gets the L. Scott gets an L. Okay. But let's go by one. Let's get the worst ones out of the way. Christie. He says that, he's saying what a lot of people are saying: Trump can't lead, inflation's choking America, and this is about Donald Trump. And then transitioning to the Israeli-Hamas conflict. This is what Christie has said. And Bibi Netanyahu has an obligation to protect Israel. He's not wrong on that. Israel intelligence has failed, and they need to isolate Iran and partner with other rational Muslim nations, more the moderate ones that are not big fans of terrorism. Okay, they want to build relations with Jews. Federal agents will be sent to protect Jews, develop great relations with Muslims and Jews, work with both sides. That's very important because once you pick a side with these identity groups, you are part of the problem. So I think that's a very good answer. Dictators unite, democracy must unite. And he called Ramaswamy immature and forgetful. I don't think he was forgetful. I just think he's a fool. But that's my opinion. And what else did Christie say? No one really answers that question. You acknowledge how a lot of people are addressing that. Especially when it comes to China. U.S. must quietly expand into the South China Sea. Says submarines are mightier, deter Putin with a more aggressive approach. When it comes to, what else Christie say? TikTok's polluting the American youth. Oh, I agree with that. Trump big failure. Yeah, American personal data is being sold. Yeah, it's been sold so that we could be hijacked, and I think it's such a great destruction to the culture. If it was a speech thing, I would have kept it, but it's not on speech. It's a big threat. It's a huge, huge threat. I mean, people use it, they use it fine, but don't expect me to use a damn thing. Energy is key to control pricing and inflation. Yeah, you're right. Energy independence is where this way we should go. Ceasefire humanitarian pause is not effective. This is back to the whole Hamas thing. Social security, increase retirement age, don't raise taxes. Because I Warren Buffett, rich people should get security. When it comes to the border, he can stop fentanyl for traveling quickly. He wants to collaborate with law enforcement to stop the drug flowing. Executive order will be issued to treat people with drug problems. That's more humanitarian effort, which, yeah, each state should decide on abortion. Respect the process, even though it's disagreeable. He says he's pro-life. That's a moderate position. Says a gift to be America. He's tired of the division, anger, politics. A lot of people agree with that. Ready to do big things. Difference is not a weakness. Democrats will say a statement like that, but Chris Christie is saying that. That's something. He's a moderate. Okay. But these are not revolutionary, eye catching, or clickbaity kind of responses. The most clickbaity thing he did was calling Donald Trump Donald Duck, and certain people laugh, some people thought it was cringe. Whatever. Sadly, you got to get attention. Good answers, but it doesn't generate a lot of attention. Let's get the other one out the way. Scott, such a nice guy, but nice guys don't win. He candidate who could solidify gay independent votes, losing faith of America isn't moving in the wrong direction. I agree. You don't need to be Christian America to work. Of course not. Biden impeachments lead to wars. Obama and Biden sends lots of monies to Iran. Can negotiate with evil, we must destroy it. To fund U.S. colleges, it's a privilege, not a right. Visa is a privilege, not a right. And this is regarding a college issue with regard to Israeli Hamas. Allow students to encourage several lose funding, to deport anti-Semitic students. Jews have rights to work in America without fear. Working against anti-Semitism since 2017. Okay. Supports war in Ukraine, degrade Russian military. America doesn't see accountability results. He supports sending $14 billion to Israel and keep NATO partners safe. So he's a neocon on that. Not the worst one, but he's a neocon. And he said we can engage all those conflicts effectively. High-tech manufacturing, our finances, and our capacity. Well, it sounds very optimistic. He banned TikTok, which I agree. Using parents' bill of rights to destroy family structure, trying to steal IP for the U.S. Yeah, other people's been telling us for a while, but we said that to us. When it comes to inflation, Scott's will sign an Exxon Keystone pipeline. America's home most energy in the world, create 10 million new jobs. Economy is reflective of the consumer confidence. And borrows a slave, which he quote from the Bible. And because Social Security, grow economy, cut spending, protect Social Security. Don't pick up states, tax your debt, grow GDP by 5%, cut tax pro growth, will now raise the retirement age. Oh, Scott said about border. Close the southern border, use military to stop crossings, sanction Mexican cartels, stop human trafficking. You see, that sounds like a plan I could get behind when it comes to Scott. It's not just a wall. The wall's one step, shouldn't be the whole thing. But we gotta make it easier for migrants to gain citizenship, make them legal. Now, I do agree with Nicole Melitakis and other moderate Republicans who are having a more rational approach to immigration because the American birth rate is pretty damn low. Let's just be clear. And we do need to keep at least a level of population growth. We're also going to end up a decline like China and Japan. Okay, that's all. Scott has a more pro-life, strong approach. Support 15-week ban abortion, rise funding pregnancy centers. Yeah, so he has a clear stance at crisis, ungrow religion, culture, turn back to faith, patriotism, and individual responsibility. Work if you're able-bodied. Oh, I absolutely agree. You should be able to work when you're able-bodied. You should, because all this pettiness. I've seen good amount of people out there who are able-bodied, could do things, but they choose to do the BMW, just like Larry Elder says. I'm not going to repeat it, but you know what they stand for. They just know how to complain. In my mind, I tell them to shut up. You could do something. Stop being a whiner. All right? That's my issue. Oh, and as I said, Tim Scott is out of the debate. he's done. He's done. And the next one is going to be December 6th. That's going to be in Alabama, hosted by News Nation. That's going to be mostly online. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be moderated by Megyn Kelly, a moderate Republican. Elizabeth Vargas, I don't know where politics is. Yeah, I could assume she's a centrist. Eliana Johnson, who I saw her interview, she is a conservative. I think she's to the right of all those ladies. Yeah, so they got censored to the right, I think. But I'm just speculating with Elizabeth Vargas. I really don't know where her politics lie. But I think she's a News Nation. I mean, she's either independent or a centrist. She's a host there. So now let's get to the biggest loser, in my opinion, who gets clowned and destroyed by Nikki Haley. Vivek Ramaswamy. Oh Lord, when is this guy's gonna go? He sounds annoying. Even Nikki Haley sounds a little more masculine than him. I mean, I never hear a guy talk so fast. It sounds so annoying. I mean, the only credit I gotta give him, I don't like giving him this. It's just he's not afraid to hustle through the podcast. I mean, Ron DeSantis did a little bit. Good for him. He needs to do at least a couple of more. But Vivek Ramaswamy, he uses TikTok. He did the low blow thing. I'm calling out Nikki Haley's grown daughter. Of course, the mother came out of her. Big mistake for Ramaswamy. I know he was trying to do the attacker being a hypocrite, but she's grown enough to make her own decision. Okay, Ramaswamy's a younger family. Nikki Haley's an older family. All right, whatever. That's what you guys to say. Republicans are losing. I agree. Ronald McDonald's is bad. We need Tucker, Musk, and Rogan, not the establishment of moderate debate. Call out even the moderators, Lester Holt and Kirsten Walker. Yeah, he went in for a very fierce attack, and of course that generated a whole lot of attention. And he criticized Trump as much. In terms of Israeli-Hamas conflict, he says Bibi Netanyahu has a right and responsibility to rout Hamas kills terrorists in the South, adds $1 trillion of debt. Republicans are not much better than Democrats. Nikki Haley is essentially Dick Cheney wearing 3-inch heels. She got another things for that. Runs 5 feet. They run 5 inches deep. And that was a clap back. And they're not just for fashion. Yeah, he just kept taking losses. I mean, he just kept, the old word used to be own. I don't think we say that anyway. We say the L. History and anti-Semitism exposes deep hate, dilute wokeism. College admin has lost their way against free speech. They say if DeSantis and Haley is against free speech. I know I write these notes a little wrong, but I can read them. That's why I'm reading my own notes, and I gotta take them kind of quickly. Maybe you could criticize they need to be polished, and he won't be wrong. And then Ramaswamy says he doesn't support the Ukraine war. He's against the Ukraine's not a democracy. They celebrate Nazis. That's actually kind of true. Yeah, and Russian occupiers are doing, and they ban churches in the polls of political parties. It's not wrong there, and I have to agree with him. When it comes to these criticisms of Ukraine, they celebrate Nazis, and I mean, one of them was in Canada. That was very foolish of them. Very, very foolish. Build domestic military reliance. We cannot be tough on China to remove dependency on China. I agree. He attacked Nikki Haley, saying she's friendly with China. Attacked Santos as well. Stop Chinese for donating to colleges, and hold Chinese accountable for the COVID-19. Easier said than done. Like he said about Haley's doors on TikTok, ban U.S. companies that sends data to China. I agree. No, the American companies are going to be very disloyal, then yeah, or at least be neutral. But being against America while you're American-made company, I mean, I know they sellouts, but damn. When it comes to inflation, increased supply of everything, embracing nuclear and home housing construction restrictions. Man, youth patriotism declared burdened with problems. American dream is not available. Okay, that one I gotta say, that's one of the few things I agree with him. It's so much hard for a young person to achieve some of these milestones that the previous generations were able to get, like getting a house. I mean, the marriage thing was more of a social thing. I would say that one the young guy take accountability for to some extent. But inflation, I mean, we've been getting inflation since the 70s. So yeah, so you could make less money and still get good things and get a decent apartment. No, that was inflation. Everything's through the freaking roof. And that's why you can't expect kids to be That's why I say increase opportunities, increase transparency when it comes to career mobility instead of this crap that we deal with. And, so Mexican elections 2024, what happened? We need to build relations with the next Mexican president. All the water is also a problem. I'll be hearing about that. It's very interesting. We don't talk about the northern border as much. He supports Scott. Texas mad at Ohio for codifying the abortion. Men must have more responsibility. It's a human rights, not men versus women's rights. Yeah, I agree. If the family's together, I'll say it has to be a family discussion. If the woman's alone, well, the man ran away and forsake his responsibility, so the woman gets to make all the decisions with the child. Yeah, war between finding idols and fringe extremists. Next gen will lead America, restore pride, and stay out of World War III. Stop the force of Biden leadership. Closing statements. And yeah, he got a lot of attention, but he also got owned and clowned a lot. I mean, he was number 3. Nikki Haley is a very strong number 3 overall, only being behind DeSantis by 1, 2, even 3 points, depending on what poll you're looking at. I'm gonna go through all the polls. That's not what it is here for. Now I'm going to talk about second place. Ron DeSantis. He says, elites don't care about you. I care. I'll take hits for the American people. Trump is different. I agree with that. He is different. But yeah, I don't know. He's going back to his crazy ways. He said, let be Benjamin Netanyahu wipe out Hamas. America will stand with Israel, help 700 escape from Israel. It says people over there, which is good, which is very, very good. DeSantis says that U.S. troops will be deployed if Israel is committed. If U.S. attacks, enemy will pay. I agree with that. And then when it comes to the Israeli-Hamas conflict with the colleges misbehaving, I mean, they got the right to protest. I don't say that misbehaving. Misbehaving is picking on others and starting violence because there are a different group of people. And then that's why I agree with them. Not protesting because they protested for peace of Palestine. Those are two different things. The Republicans like to conflate the two together. That's very disingenuous. DOJ should force civil rights. Yeah, right. Better, easier said than done. They don't care about that. They care about preserving government power. Ukraine and U.S. should not be involved with the war. By process more legal immigration with U.S. tax dollars. So he didn't really talk so much about Ukraine that much. So he's trying to act anti-Ukraine. He should be able to deny Xi, spread the social credit score, build a military to deter China. He attacks Haiti with liking China. And of course, Haiti clapbacks at Florida is a great business. Great for Chinese business. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, Haley is ready. I mean, Haley will not go down without a fight. When it comes to inflation, never use oil for Venezuela, remove restrictions. Green New Year's is a disaster. Santos work hard, God given ability to succeed, but people still hurting. Reining the Federal Reserve because they spend recklessly. Yeah, they do. That came from them, by the way. So he's not wrong there. But will he do it is the question. They can say the right things, doesn't mean they're going to do it. That's why you pay attention to their words and their actions, not just the words. The sense about cutting inflation spending, like expectancies decline, will not raise the retirement age. He's want to deport the illegals, take fee from farm workers, or fund the war like Trump promises, kill criminals on site. Ooh, abortion, stand for cultural life. So he's pro-life. And DeSantis said, reverse American decline, put service above self. I think that's a good thing, and God bless you. Now the winner, Nikki Haley. Not my most favorite candidate, but I think she could be Biden. Talk about how debt we are, how bad the economy is her opening statement. 60% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Anti-Semitism while Trump is weak and poor. Yeah, I'll start saying that with the pandemic. Yeah. And then Israel Hamas finish Hamas. Support Israel, bring hostages. Iran is the culprit. Support and not command Israel. And that's what Haley says. I mean, she was a UN ambassador. And then additionally, when it comes to the college portion of it, kids with barricade colleges, culture place will be destroyed. Anti-Semitism is just as bad as racism. Hamas vows to end Israel in America. She's not wrong about that. Right? And we are taking care of people. We're about taking care of people. Okay. And she says Putin and she loves Ramaswamy. U.S. need a military supply, not cash. Taiwan wants U.S. support to support Ukraine because they might be invaded next. She does have a point there. I mean, she really does got a point there. Because of China. China has the largest navy in the world. Stop selling U.S. land to China, and U.S. must modernize, the tax run on drugs, arm Taiwan, and train them. Yeah, that's best issue to train them. I think it'd be more successful than what happened on Afghanistan. We wasted about $1 trillion and it went back to square one when we left. Major waste of money. Major waste of money. Major waste. And when it comes to Venezuela, Haley said she supports temporary protection status for that country, and she gives jab and saying he's liberal energy. Haley's buff the middle class, cut tax and gas, stop bipartisan reckless spending. Yep, it is bipartisan reckless spending. Go after rich who frauded government COVID dollars, who cannot copy the Japanese crisis. Medicaid could be bankrupt in 8, Social Security 10, limit benefits to the wealthy, increase when Medicare benefits reflect on the life expectancy of Social Security and Medicaid. Yeah, this one had more substance. It wasn't just a whole lot of gobbledygook. Says special operations remove the cartel to fund sanctuary cities. Oh, that's where she's aggressive at, according to her stance. Buff border patrol and deal with mental health with care. Yes, you gotta do mental health with care. Abortion is a personal choice. I don't judge pro-choice. I want people to respect choices. No president can ban and promote across the nation. Consensus is the issue. Yeah, man. So she has a moderate position when it comes to that. And her last closing statement was the world's on fire, defend our freedom, stop communism and terrorism, strong and proud America. So, I mean, she was ready to attack, and she attacked mostly well, and she continues to give better answers. I mean, much better answers. And especially clapping back on Ramaswamy, attacking the Saints is pretty good. Even Tim Scott. I think the only one she gets attacked was Christie. They both more that moderate neoconservative wing of the party. Tim, I think, is more regular Republican. Vivek Ramaswamy is more on the MAGA wing, and Ron DeSantis is want to be MAGA wing, but he had to go change tune because it was such a failure. And Donald Trump, of course, in 10, he gained more ratings, more attention. He continues to maintain that lead, even with the preliminary polling of the three early primaries. There's the Iowa caucuses, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. They are early and they are important to give you an indicator which presidential candidate could have a shot. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to stop sharing. That's fine. So now let's get to the George Santos thing. The George Santos thing is very, 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 very interesting. It happened. So just to make sure I'm current, not being irrelevant. George Santos is the 6th member to be expelled and the first not to have be locked up because the other 5 were full criminals, but he's in the pathway to being criminal. So I guess Congress is being a little more proactive. Okay. Yep. He was expelled. And over 100 Republicans support him being removed. Okay. So what Kathy Hochul needs to do, and they're going to do a special election. Kathy Hochul has 10 days to set the date for a special election, which should be held about 6 weeks later. To me, this is kind of a waste of time. Leave that thing empty. Yeah, he was filled with controversy, scandal, fraud, lies, what have you. I mean, I just think the Republicans had enough. They couldn't tolerate his crap anymore. And there's going to be no primary, all right? It has to be vacant for 2 because the governor has no power to appoint somebody to a congressional seat, unlike certain states. Hakeem Jeffries is pushing for former Representative Tom Suozzi. I think that's a very smart move from the Democrats. That district is Democrat. Interesting. Wow. But Republicans, they're facing 2 names. He's thinking about. I think the only one they think about is former state senator Jack Martins. If they're going to have a shot. He was faced 13 federal charges against him. Of course, he pleads not guilty. Plead guilty, go to jail. That's what happened with the president. Yeah. Only 114 nays. 2 Democrats voted against him. 2 just voted president. I mean, if almost all of them just say, yeah, get him out. Yep. It's insane. He caused such a major distraction. Yeah. And now let me just share the screen about that I was just reading from CBS. If you want to see the source right here, see this link right here. Right here. Okay. That's the link for all I was just referring to. I didn't read everything because I don't think it's that important. I can read every single thing. So has this happened before? Yeah, but not what his circus is. His circumstance makes it unprecedented because they just found fraud of the ethics committee. That's not a full-blown charge. Can lead to criminal charges? Yeah, but it's not. He's the very first Republican to be expelled. You see all the previous name? Democrat. Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. 1861. The first three representatives were expelled because they supported the Confederate rebellion. John B. Clark, John W. Reed, and Henry C. Burnett. Two from Missouri, one from Kentucky. Then it comes to more modern history. Let's fast forward to nearly 120 years later. Michael J. Myers, a Democrat for Pennsylvania. Oh, even with greater margins. And it looks like not everybody in Congress was there. Convicted of bribery of the app scam scandal. And then one before that, James Traficant, the Democrat for Ohio, in 2002, like a 420 to 1, convicted of 10 counts, including bribery, conspiracy to defraud the United States, corruption, obstruction of justice, tax evasion, racketeering. Yeah, so yeah, sir. Yeah, he's been convicted. See, they just found charges, but he hasn't been convicted, George Santos. And he's the very first Republican, very first in New York. And yeah, no, for those three, they didn't do a vote count. If you supported it, that was treason right there because they broke off the United States during that time. Yeah, who cares about the censure representative? That's become a joke. You just gotta say the politically incorrect thing and then get censored, which is ridiculous. So that's happened before. The very first Republican to be expelled. And that's all I can say about that. Very first to be expelled. Okay. Interesting. Without a confirmed charge. So people say might lead a dangerous precedent because all of them had to be charged for a crime and then you're outski. But nope. It could be before that, and then now it's outski. And George Santos, he fled that building before it was even finalized. He fled before 2 minutes before that whole vote was finalized. Man, a lot of people want to know once Mike Justice said just vote with your conscience, that convinced the Republicans to vote the way they wanted to, and it was nearly half of them, with 90% of Democrats. Yeah, that's enough to get that 290 great majority right there. That's nearly 60% of the 435 number. So, yeah, he's out. I mean, that circus is done. One less craziness to worry about. And then when it comes to the final item, I have it right here. Ballotpedia. And I'm going to read state by state. The states I'm going to be reading is Colorado, Maine, New York, Ohio, Texas. Yep, those are your states. Colorado, Maine, New York, Ohio, Texas. Only 5 states. Oh, and Louisiana. That makes it 6. So it comes to Colorado. Property. They failed to pass that. That's an act changes the state property revenue limitation, including reducing property tax, allow the state government to retain revenue, will always be required to be reimbursed on the tabor. I don't like that law. Allow government to retain and spend surplus revenue to obtain higher taxes of cigarette, tobacco, nicotine products. All right, they supported that pretty well. Louisiana for November 18th. Okay. This one, most of them passed except for budgets. Allow state legislature through 2/3 majority to use up to $250 million in revenue to state legislature to alleviate the deficit. They want people to figure out ways to take care of the budget. And then what was passed? The state lay provide legislature to make so the veto bills regular or extraordinary session rather than a separate veto session. Clarifying the government's deadline attacking the bill is based on a legislative session in which the bill is passed. No, that one passed. Repeal constitution provisions of various state funds that are now inactive and transfer remaining funding funds to the state general. Okay. They repeal that. They want more use of that free money. And then the property tax authorizes local government to provide an additional property tax exception up to $2,500 for first responders. Okay, that's good. For firefighters, emergency, police officers, sheriffs. Okay, you see, not all Democrats hate their offices. Not all of them do. Maine. So question 3, 7, and 8 was reject. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 was passed. Okay. And I'm not going to read every single one. We'll read about the ones that reject. Create a pine tree of electric transmission to distribute utility by government elected official. Oh, they didn't want that. Ooh, 70% rejection. The remove requirement, initiate process, signature gather must be a resident or registered voter May. They were against that. Yeah, that causes craziness. And then remove constitution provision. Found Constitution 2001 saying individuals under guardianship cannot, or mental illness cannot vote. Governors, senators, or representatives. Oh, people rejected that. They think that's discrimination against the disabled. That's Maine. Maine's a purple state. New York, both of them passed. Remove that limitation in your constitution for small school districts and exclude debtness and construction of sewage facilities prior. Yeah, I voted for both of those, so not surprised it passed with the decent margins. Now for Ohio, okay, Ohio, they passed abortion and they legalized marijuana for ages 21 over. Texas had a lot of provisions, and this episode's already going long enough. And I'm going to read the ones that were rejected. Increases mandatory retired state age from 75 to 79. They rejected that. Actually, that's the only thing they rejected. They abolished the yeah, I'm not surprised they support that. They want less government. Prohibit what with net worth tax. Oh, they support that. Okay, that's a left wing policy in general. But they created a Texas Water Fund to finance water projects. Okay. Yeah, so this is all you have regarding the whole special election. And that's it. Let me end the share. I mean, let's just be absolutely clear. I can't wait for this debate hosted by News Nation. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be even less candidates. Tim Scott's not going to be there. I think Christie makes it. I got to double check that one. I know Vivek, Nikki Haley, DeSantis, and Trump makes it, of course. I don't think Trump's going to attend. He still has that great lead. And I mean, all the other contenders are not siphoning much of it. So I think he's going to skip that. Two, George Santos has been expelled. It took Congress 3 tries to get him out. 3 times with Trump, they did it. With a decent amount of Republicans turning against him. Yeah. Almost all Democrats voted him out. No shocker there. By the way, George Santos was exited after he saw that he already knew he was gone. Once a Republican, especially Mike Johnson said, "Oh, we are conscious." Yeah. A lot of them getting politically convenient conscious right there. If it was real conscious, they shouldn't accept them in the first place. Well, that's my opinion. Now, for the final item, when it comes to ballots, most ballots have passed. Like I said, there's only a few that haven't. And God, I know we're going to see more ballots for 2024. Probably even more than that day, because 2023 is considered an off-season year. It's off. It's not that much to do. And another thing I'd like to report briefly, Republicans is losing steam and momentum in Virginia. Yeah, Virginia's moving purple. It's snapping back to blue. It is snapping back. So Republicans had the Senate. No, the Democrats have retook that chamber. Yeah, so it's going back to its blue roots. Okay. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So from whatever time zone that you're listening to this, you have a blessed day, afternoon, or night.